Hi guys.
Hi guys.
Lovely to see you again. Well, you to see us again.
Yeah.
Today is the 7th of August. It's a Monday.
It's flying by already. 7 days in. A week into August.
Can you guys
crazy.
believe it? It's going really quickly.
It's going so quick. Excuse our messy sort of appearance. We've been to the gym today and we're exhausted and
I've got work tomorrow and
Yes,
I'm just
me too.
tired and washed my hair and it's a bit frizzy and
yeah, bit of fluffy hair and but anyways, we
we're here.
Wanted to do our Disney video for you guys for Wednesday, and yeah, so today we have our
like 5 top tips for Disney.
Yep.
We're gonna start with, what do you think? Number 5.
Yeah, we're gonna, it's not in no particular order in which we think like the importance of these tips, but we kind of thought of the 5 best things that we learned before we went to Disney, which really helped
since
us
coming back.
yeah, or whilst we was there, things that really helped us have a better experience, because it's an amazingly busy holiday. And yeah, so that will probably bring us on to tip 5.
Yeah,
we'll go down.
So my first tip number 5 would be water. You can get free water from all of the stands and shops, like the restaurants, any kind of food cart.
Yeah, quick services.
Yeah, any quick services you can get free water from, ice water.
Yeah.
And actually, one of the guys there even said that's the thing they make the most money on every year.
Yeah, when we was in
water.
Typhoon Lagoon, we was waiting quite a while for a slide because there was some technical difficulties, and he'd done like a quiz with the cast member done a quiz with some of us waiting for the thing, and he asked us what do we think the most amount of money spent on in Walt Disney World, and somebody said Coca-Cola, which was a good guess because I think that's high up on the list of
must be
you know, money maker. But water was the number 1, and that's shocking because it was a couple of dollars per bottle of water. I think $3, I think it was.
Yeah,
I mean, that's quite a lot if you think, you know.
you know, I understand kids sometimes don't drink water, or adults even don't like it, but you can get those little Robinson's squash little bits you can add to it. It's just so much cheaper, especially for a lot of people. I know they go with families or go on a budget. You know, it's not easy to save up to go to Florida, so if you can save yourself a little bit of money with that, that's our first tip.
As Nicole said, those little bottles of like adding squash, like they're like tiny little things. You can get Robinsons, you can get own brands, shop own brands, and they just give the water a bit of flavour, so it's perfect for kids. The ice water you get in Walt Disney World, the free one, is so refreshing. It's always lovely and cold, and you can get as many as you like. So we normally get sort of 2 each, down one, and then walk around with the other one, because you know it's hot in Florida. We went in October last year and it was so hot. It was really hot. Some days it was quite unbearable to stand around, and you need to keep hydrated.
And you're talking quite a lot because you're talking about things you've just done. You're walking about quite a lot, so when it's hot you're getting quite sweaty, you're waiting in queues with lots of people around you. You know, and if you're going to do it, if you know it's going to be a long wait for a ride and you're waiting, definitely take one with you, because if you don't want to stop off to get something any other time, at least you can drink while you're waiting.
It's very true. And it, honestly, keeping hydrated will keep you well and just make the day a bit more bearable, basically. So that brings us on to tip number 4, and that is about shoes, because again, as we've mentioned, you walk so much. It's unbelievable. I don't think I was really prepared for how much we would be walking. We walked many thousand steps, like so many.
Minimum 10,000 steps a day.
Minimum.
And I think even when we went to the water parks, it still said that we'd done 8,000 steps. But obviously our phones were in the lockers the whole time.
So that was just half a day walking around.
Yeah, that's without all the walks up to the slides and everything else that we did.
There were some days we was doing 20,000+ steps. I don't think there was ever a day we just done 10,000.
No.
I don't think there was ever a day.
So as much as, like, I know some people have said they've got away with it with flip-flops. If you can, you're really lucky. If you've got a really good pair of flip-flops, then brave it. But I would say take your comfiest pair of shoes, even if they're not the prettiest, and take them with you.
Definitely, I say go for comfort over style, because honestly
nobody cares.
Nobody cares. I wore Vans a couple of the days last year in October when we went, and that was a big mistake. They're so flat. They're fine for a few hours walking around, but long days in the park, I noticed a difference when I got home.
You're on the go
hotel.
so much, aren't you? Like,
and again, due to the heat, you'll be sweating, so you don't want to wear anything that can rub your feet, because that would just be unbearable. If you've got a blister, it just really would, it would ruin your day. You know, would really be uncomfortable. So as Nicole said, a good pair of flip-flops, something with a little bit of sort of foam, sort of give you a bit of bounce, because anything too flat, it kind of aches the bottom of your, you know, the bones in your feet. Or something supportive, you know, a good sandal or a good pair of trainers, something like that, something that will give you support to your back and your legs, because honestly you'll feel it in your legs when you get home, back to your hotel or your villa. When we got back to our hotel every night, we were in agony with our feet.
Definitely.
And we're used to walking quite a lot because our jobs are kind of like based on our feet most of the day, but it's a different kind of thing in the heat, and you know, so I would definitely say wear a good pair of shoes. I know you've probably heard that one many times, but
the more people that reinforce it, hopefully the more people that listen and don't get caught out.
Definitely.
But a lot of places do have first aid. They do have plasters there if you are caught out when you're there. So go along, see them, and get your feet sorted. Don't ruin your day.
No, don't.
Tip number 3, I would say my Disney Experience app.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, I loved it. So before I went, I was really laid back about it, and I tried not to look into too much, not to do too much, and Brooke had been talking about his app for quite a while. When we got there, I actually started using it, and it was amazing. Like, we could do so much with it, and you can it really helps you organise yourself.
Definitely, it's really good.
And keeps you updated with things that are going on, and when it's working, it tells you what the queue times are in other places. So if you're the other side of the park and you want to find out what the queue time is where you want to go to next, and save you walking all that way to go to it, and it'd be like a really long wait. Check it out, have a look. Yeah.
And it's a really good way to plan your holiday. Before you go, and whilst you're there, as Nicole said, it's wait times, it's reservations, it's fast passes, it's where your My Disney, the photo pass sends the photos to your, you know, it's direct to the app.
I actually managed to get quite a few fast passes on the day, didn't I?
You did, yeah. So it's good. It's a really good app to have, and it's free to download. A lot of you that watch these vlogs, obviously, I'm sure you guys are probably aware of the app, because it's obviously it's been about for a while. But it's definitely, we wanted to sort of reinforce the importance of the app.
Anyone that's new, if you haven't heard of it, definitely have a look.
It's a free download, and it will do. It's basically all you need for your holidays to Disney World. It's got everything you need: park opening times, fireworks shows, different types of show times, wait times, reservations. You can book them on there, you can book your fast passes there. So that's, you know, it's the best thing for your Disney planning. Which brings us on to tip 2, which is about planning, basically, and before you go, basically having a rough idea of how you want to spend your holiday. Because, you know, I think, as Nicole said, she was quite laid back, and if it wasn't down to me having a bit more organisation, we wouldn't have had some of our reservations for certain restaurants we wanted to eat at, and certain ones you have to book miles in advance.
Yeah, quite far in advance actually, for a lot of them.
So you don't want to be disappointed and think, oh, I wish I booked that, you know. Well, for example, Be Our Guest, the restaurant, it's so hard to get a reservation there. So if you can plan in advance, you might be able to get one. And, you know,
and the fast pass as well, as soon as they come out, get on them and get the best ones.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, you're not going to get everything, but at least you're trying, you know. At least you know you've tried your best. Yeah. So if you have to wait in one long queue, at least you've avoided some of the other ones. And definitely do a little bit of research on the rides that are going to have the longest wait queue, and try and get those fast passes first. Because especially with kids, like, that they'll want to do certain rides, but actually the wait time for those rides might not be that long.
Yeah, it's true.
So you better just save your fast passes for the ones that are more important or more popular.
Yeah,
say not more important.
Yeah, definitely, they're all important. But yeah, and with planning, I'm not saying everyone should plan their holiday to, you know, specific time, certainly to a T. Some people like to go with a sort of more open mind, but you need to have some idea, especially if you want to book reservations and fast passes. You need to know which park you're doing on which days, certain shows, certain times, etc. If you have that basic rough idea, when you go to Florida, it'll be much more kind of organised and a bit more structured. It won't just be kind of chaos, and you get more done that way.
And you can just plan it around by what fast passes and reservations you get for that day.
Definitely.
It doesn't have to be, nope, I can't have that really good fast pass because I said I was going to go to this park on that day. You know, use a little bit of common sense there and just get the best out of the situation.
You know, if you have to park hop if that's something that you know interests you. We try to stick to sort of one park a day and then go back and do bits that we hadn't got done, and that worked really well for us. We got to do, I kind of made a list. I wrote down a list of which parks I'd like to do on which days, and then I'll sort of use the My Disney Experience app to kind of, you know,
influence it a little bit more.
Yeah, so say for example, our first day I went to spend at Magic Kingdom. I made our reservations for Magic Kingdom for that day, and our fast pass is obviously for Magic Kingdom, and it worked well. We got a lot done in our 2 weeks because, you know, this brings us on to number one.
Yes.
Number one
tip. You will not get everything done. I don't know how often people must go thinking, oh, I just want to do everything. It is impossible. I think even if you go every day for a year, there'll probably still be something that you've missed out, something you haven't seen, something new that comes out. So when you're there, just make the most of it, which is why the planning part is so important, because it leads you quite nicely onto this. Look at what's most important to you, look at what you really want to do, and do that. It's a trip of a lifetime for a lot of people, especially when you're going with a family.
Definitely.
If you get the Disney bug, you just make sure you go back somehow. But you know, just do as much as you can while you're there, and whatever you can't do, it's one of those things. It's a magical place, and hopefully, even if not anytime soon, you'll get to go back and maybe do those bits. Or maybe you didn't choose to do them for a reason. Yeah, that's true. And I know obviously it's not really a tip, like, you know, you're not gonna get everything done, isn't really a tip, but it's just a bit of advice, and it's also kind of in the sense of it kind of links everything we've just been saying, especially about fast passes and planning and all of those things, and not to be disappointed or hard on yourself if you feel like, oh, I haven't been able to do such and such, because you know, 2 weeks not enough. As Nicole said, I don't know what would be enough time to be able to, you know, eat in all the restaurants in Disney. I mean, you would need years for that and a lot of money. So, you know, you have to prioritise basically which ones, you know, you really want to do. I think it makes it more enjoyable if you go with that frame of mind as well, because you can just relax a little bit more. It doesn't mean you're not going to rush around and try and get as much done as you can when you're there, because believe me, our day in Epcot, when I wanted to meet all the princesses, I had her walking around,
running around,
basically running from one place to another to another. But I got to meet all the princesses, which was what I really wanted. So it doesn't mean you're not going to have manic days, but just be prepared, and maybe even like try not to tell your kids too much before you go if you're going with kids, because then whatever they do will be their magical experience and not whatever they couldn't do.
And one other quick thing, I'll throw it in as a little freebie for you guys. Another little tip I was just thinking of when Nicole mentioned Epcot and the crazy day we had running around trying to meet all of the princesses to finish off our signature book. We really used the park program, so the little programs and maps you get in the beginning of the park, or you know, guest relations, etc. Take one, because it has different times on it, and I know you have my Disney Experience app, but it was quite handy just having it, because it was like, oh, there's, you know, Belle's going to be in France at this time, and it was quite handy. So if you can remember to take one, I would definitely take one.
Most people do at least 2 days in one park, like 2 days in each park. Throughout your 2 week experience, if you're just doing Disney anyway. So maybe on the first day, pick it up, go around, see what you can get done, and then have a look at it when you get back to your hotel or your villa, wherever you're staying, and then think, oh, for my second day, I'd really like to be able to do whatever it is that's left. You know.
And in Disneyland Paris, Nicole had a good little thing going on. Obviously Disneyland Paris doesn't have my Disney Experience app at this time. Hopefully it will have it in the future, but she would tick bits off, so it's a really good way
on the map, just ticking stuff off that we got done.
We didn't have to worry about it.
We didn't want to do, not that we didn't want to do it all, but stuff that wasn't as high on our priority list, we would kind of ignore, and the ones that we thought, oh, we could take or leave, then we put down as a maybe to try and get done.
So it was quite handy actually, and that's another little tip I just thought I'd throw in there. But yeah, we hope you guys have enjoyed this. I know it's not quite brief, but we thought these are really important 5 little tips that we honestly really did help our holiday experience. It made it much more comfortable and fun, and
you're in Disney, guys. You're in Disney, just have fun.
The biggest tip is just enjoy it and just get lost in the magic, because honestly, if you've not been before, guys, you will not regret it. It is a holiday of a lifetime, and you probably will get a Disney bug like us, and it is...
Be booking your next one as soon as you get back.
But you know, just enjoy every moment of it. That's the biggest tip that anyone could ever give, is just make sure you take a moment to look around and take in the sights, watch the shows, you know, other sort of things that I'm sure you guys will do anyway, and that you're most excited
when you're waiting in the queues, there's so much stuff you can see.
So amazing.
So just really take it in, guys, and enjoy. If you've got a holiday booked, let us know below how long you've got to go. Let us get excited with you.
Yeah, definitely.
How many days is it to Arsbrook?
Oh, I think it's about 85 days now. I'm not on the game today.
Are you not? Oh no. It is 85. You are on your game.
Yeah, 85 days today.
So let us know what you've got.
Yeah,
if you've just come back, let us know what you got up to, how enjoyable it was. We're really missing Disney right now.
Yeah, just definitely. We can't wait for our next trip. But yeah, if you've got any important tips that we've missed out or we don't know about, please let us know, because everything is welcomed. Because honestly, you want the holiday to be the best, and it will be, regardless of things like water and shoes, but these are just things that will help make it more comfortable, basically. And without us knowing about the water, we would have spent lots of money on it. So just little tips to save money, to save time, and to give you guys a great trip. So yeah, any other tips, please let us know in the comments below. As Nicole said, let us know when you're going to Florida or to Disneyland Paris or to any Disney park. Let us know. We want to get excited with you guys.
Give us a bit of a thumbs up if you like this.
Yes, please.
Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more.
We really appreciate it.
Subscribed already. And thank you for watching.
Thank you guys. We appreciate you guys taking the time to watch us. And for all the people that have already subscribed, we appreciate it. So see you on the next one.
See ya.
Bye.